Good morning. Okay, so I've already, like, starting this day off is already amazing. I slept all the way through for the first time in like 2 weeks. I feel like a baby, like being proud of myself. But it's funny because my bags are so gnarly. And I try to, like, go, like make them go away. Not happening. So, whatever. Excuse my look of absolute, whatever. But anyway, so I had to make this video before I got my day started because last night I went to my devotional group and it was awesome. Awesome. Like I walked out of there with like a new like lot on life. And it's not that necessarily that a lot of the things that they talked about because it was just kind of like the opening night. Did a lot of introductions. Kind of so it wasn't like super like digging deep into what the book of Jonah has to say, but it was just a really like riveting feeling. And I don't know if any of you guys watched my very first like hardcore video about my faith called Saved, but the day that I was saved, when I was walking back from the altar, this lady came out of the crowd. I mean, gave me the biggest hug and asked my name, asked me what she could pray for. And I mean, and I was really, really, really sobbing. So I like couldn't even see straight. I was like, like walking back to my seat. And but she ended up being there last night. Her name's Colleen, and she is the nicest lady on the planet. And she's just like your exactly how you would imagine like a church like grandma. Like she's got this cute little blonde bob and she's got like Mary Kay makeup on and she's just like, hey darling. But she like walked up to me and she was like, Sarah? And I was like, random lady from the crowd? Like it was I mean, it was awesome. And so when we were going around and we were telling people about we were introducing ourselves. They said, say your name, where you're from, or, kind of like what you do, and an interesting fact about yourself. So I told them, my information. I told them that, a couple Sundays ago I was saved. And it's just, it's funny the reaction you get from a group of I mean, it was me, another girl that was my age, which is awesome. She actually ends up being an RD, which is what I want to be. So now I have a buddy who's an RD, and she goes to my church, and she lives like 15 minutes from where I'm about to move. Awesome. So, but most of the ladies in this group are like 40s, 50s, something like that. But when I told them that, I've never seen a group of like ladies get like that hype. They got excited, and I don't know, it just made me be like, yeah, like I don't know how to describe it. Anyways, but so and then I told him that, and then I told him I'm a powerlifter. So I told him if they ever need help moving, they can hit me up. but but yeah, so we went around and we just chatted and got to know each other, and then we started watching. So it's an actual like DVD that we're watching, and up before my alarm. It's 7 o'clock. But anyways, so we're watching like a DVD series, and the lady's name is Priscilla Shearer. I don't know if she's like really well known in the Jesus world, but she's very I'm not sure what I like the way that I don't know if you call it preaching. See, I'm so new at this, I don't even know how to call anything. But when she talks, she's very forceful and she's very like but I mean she gets your attention. And so basically what we talked about last night was okay, so basically this whole sermon's about your life being interrupted. So I'm pretty sure like God put me in this sermon because my life right now, like despite all the good things happening and my how I'm keeping like an upbeat like persona, my life is in shambles right now. So, like, a couple of the big things that are going on, because, like, the very first thing she said is, how's your life been interrupted lately? Now, my mom has breast cancer. I'm 800 miles away. Ooh, the niceness starting to kick in. I can see it. I'm starting to get red and itchy. Okay, anyways, mom has breast cancer. Jordan and I just broke up, and I'm getting out of the Coast Guard. So those three things together are literally life altering for me. Um, and I mean, it's things that if you don't have the right mindset, when you look at them, you're just like, you're gonna fall apart. And if you don't have, I guess you could say, the mental strength or feel like there's anyone on your side, it's hard. It's very hard. Um, but a couple of things that I really liked that I got out of it was that a life interrupted is the privileged life, because a divine intervention is significant. You know what I mean? Like, a divine intervention is him coming down and being like, stop what you're doing. I'm about to mess some stuff up, but there's a reason. And I am, without a doubt, 100% positive that Jordan and I broke up so that I would find God. I don't know. I mean, well, without doubt, that's how I feel. But as far as, like, my mom getting cancer, I'm pretty sure that, there's reasons behind that. My mom isn't a believer, so it's hard for me to talk to her about certain things, and it's hard for me to, I guess, I mean, not talk to, but it's just like, you don't feel the same way about talking to somebody who doesn't believe versus somebody who does believe. It's different. And it's not that I can't talk to her. Look how red I'm getting. This is what my thermogenic does in the morning. But I think maybe that happened to her because, I mean, other than the fact that it just happens, but it's in her plan. I hope that maybe that her overcoming this shows her, I don't know, to maybe just stop and look at life and realize how precious it is. And, she's going through a lot of things right now, too. Her husband just got a job in Indiana, and she's in Florida, and she's having to make the decision of whether she's going to stay in Florida, whether she's going to go to Indiana. She doesn't know. And that's something that every time we talk about, and it's just big things, an interrupted life. It doesn't get more interrupted than cancer, you know what I mean? As far as the Coast Guard goes, I basically had to make the decision whether to fight for my position or get out. And the day that I was told that I had to make a decision was last Friday. I had until Monday. And I initially freaked out. I mean, in my head, I just was like, what? I have 8 years in the Coast Guard. I didn't know what to do. I initially turned to someone who I thought, I wanted guidance from, but it turned out that I was searching for answers in the wrong person. So I went and I sat in my car, and I just sat there, and I just prayed, listened to a couple songs. And the one thing that I think, and I don't know if I would necessarily call this a sign, or if I would call this, something, but this wave, and I do mean like a wave, because I was crying. I cry all the time now. All the time. It sucks. It takes so much out of my day. Because I'll just be sitting there, and I'll just think of something, and it's like my emotional floodgates are open. And I just, it's annoying. But anyway, so I was in my car, and then this just wave of calm came over me, to where I literally just sat there, and I was like, well, it was fun. You know what I mean? Like, and that's the power of putting everything, like, I think, like, on him. When you realize that your life has a plan, it's different. Like, Jeremiah 29:11 has been in my face. I mean, constantly, constantly. I mean, and okay, so just people telling it to me, one, me seeing it on Facebook, Instagram, things like that. Two, I was moving stuff yesterday. When I was moving one of Jordan's old Bibles, he has like a card in it, and it fell out. Jeremiah 29:11. I was like, okay. And then on these papers I got yesterday, it says on here once, Jeremiah 29:11. On the other side, things put on your fridge, Jeremiah 29. I mean, everywhere. And there's, it's not an accident. Like, I need to read that 7,000 times because, like I said, my life is in shambles, and it just helps knowing there's a purpose behind it. What the purpose is, I don't know. But you have to have faith, and you have to trust that the way that the cookie's crumbling, there's a reason behind it. I'm itching. So anyways, let's see, what else? So anyway, so we kind of, we only went into verse 1 and 2 of chapter 1 of Jonah, but like I said, it was brief because today was like the introduction day, but, I don't know, it was just good. And then I guess one of the last things that I really took away from this was God often sends us into the hopeless place because it's in the hopeless place that we can see the hope of God. And sometimes I think that maybe that was God sent Jordan to me. I seemed hopeless. If you guys would have known what I was like 6 months ago, not that I was like this terrible person 6 months ago, but as far as faith goes, I mean, the most hardcore of atheists, like, big time. I was open to the idea of it a little, like maybe 3 months in, so like around like April, May, but from the outside looking in, you weren't gonna penetrate these walls. And so it's funny where, I don't know, like it was just one of those things where when you sit down and you look around and you think about life, where you are now is wild. There's this song I'm listening to, it's called Overcomer right now, and it's amazing. I don't remember the lady's name who sings this. This is a real pretty black lady, but it's awesome. So I don't know, like this video isn't about much other than just kind of like my first couple, my first experience in a devotional group and what it feels like to be supporting yourself with a bunch of like awesome, experienced, loving, sisters in Christ. Like that's all it is. And I'm exactly where I need to be. Exactly where I need to be. So, by the end of this week, I'm going to be out of my old place into my new place. I'm super pumped. I really love where I'm at in the new one. My room's huge. It's great. It has ceilings that are like this, and I'm willing to I'm gonna slam my head into the walls one of these days. So that's good. But yeah, I need a fresh start. I need to get out of here. I need to have different scenery. Too much yeah. So anyways, I hope you guys, it's Wednesday. Halfway there. It's Wednesday, and yeah, so I guess you guys have a wonderful day, and I will too. And until next time, talk to you later.